Thank you for joining us. News 8 is your local election headquarters. A slow start for the results coming in tonight as Monroe County switched to new voting machines, but it's been a night of firsts here and across the state. We'll have the latest in many local races. Some are tight, others we can call at this hour, including the Rochester mayoral election.
That's right. Current mayor, incumbent Malik Evans, the Democrat in the race, he has secured another term. Now, we have called a number of other races, and we're going to get to those in just a bit. And I want to let you know about the results that are scrolling, or they should be scrolling across your screen throughout this newscast.
And we have team coverage tonight with Isabel Garcia standing by at the Republican headquarters on the Irondequoit Town Supervisor race. But first, we want to take you to the Democratic headquarters. That's where we find Natalie Kutchko. Natalie.
Not me.
Good evening to you both. There are a number of wins being celebrated here at the Democratic headquarters. Incumbent Mayor Malik Evans just taking the podium in the last few minutes. He will spend another 4 years leading the city of Rochester. Let's take a listen to what he has to say.
And destruction would not be normalized. I ask you to let that be the day that any child that wanted a job could find one. I asked you to let that be the day that we made sure that no one would get left behind as we recovered from the pandemic. I asked you to let that be the day that home ownership became a reality for those that wanted it to be. I asked you to join me, and you did. I asked you to help me do these things, and now we are. Rochester, we still have a long way to go. And we always thought that we wouldn't have to worry about what happens in Washington. But probably for the first time in history, we have a federal government that used to say, we don't really worry about localities or states' rights. But boy, have they changed their tune, haven't they? They're sticking their nose in our business. They're trying to bring the negativity that they have in Washington, particularly the president, to our localities. And what did Monroe County say? What did Monroe County say? What did Rochester say? No. And we will continue to say no, but what we will say yes to is a brighter future. But what we will say yes to is a strong community. And what we will say yes to is us continuing to work together. And what we will say yes to is collaboration. What we will say yes to is cooperation. And what we will say yes to is transformation. So let's get back to work. I always tell you, winning is great, and we have won. Delivering is another thing. And we have an obligation to deliver for the people of Rochester and Monroe County. And by working together, by building bridges, we will be able to do that.
So the mayor sharing his victory remarks here tonight from the Democratic headquarters. This was a landslide victory for Evans, beating out his challenger Louis Sabo on the conservative line with nearly 90% of the vote. So Evans takes a second term as mayor of the city of Rochester. He was first elected back in 2022, carrying a lengthy history in city government on city council and then also the Rochester City School Board. He has promised a renewed commitment to Rochester's future. And with that, we're going to continue listening to the mayor's remarks and send things back to you in the studio. Reporting live here in downtown Rochester, Natalie Kutchko, News 8.
All right. Hey, Natalie, thank you so much. Great timing getting the mayor to talk right when we tossed her there. Now, before we get to some of the town races, the regional races, the national news that we've been hearing about. We want to stay in the city of Rochester with the City Council at-large races this evening.
That's right. In the race for Rochester City Council, 5 at-large seats were up for grab among 9 candidates. So far, Kiara Kiki Smith has garnered the most votes, with Stanley Martin right behind her, as well as current City Council President Miguel Melendez. As you see there, the vote tally coming in. Dr. LaShunda Leslie Smith also in the lead there. Victor Sanchez running as the Working Families candidate. Willie Lightfoot and Kim Smith did not seek re-election in this race. Results are still coming in. Turning now to the Irondequoit Town Supervisor race, a controversial race. John Perticone, the Democrat, has been declared the winner there.
Yeah, after a lot of controversy over the last several months. Isabel Garcia joins us now from the GOP headquarters. Izzy.
Yes, good evening to both of you. Certainly feeling a sense of some disappointment here in the room, kind of across the board. We're starting to see some folks head out. I'm actually going to step out of the shot right now so our photographer Trinity can kind of show you what we're seeing here. So we are seeing people still kind of mingling, but most people have left. The greatest, I guess, time that folks were here was really between like 9:30 and 10 or so, but as the results were coming in, started to dissipate. We did, as you mentioned, see 96% reporting for the results in. John Perticone defeating the Republican Anthony Costanza today to become Irondequoit's next town supervisor, who will succeed Andre Evans amid that turbulent year in town politics. Perticone taking just over 67% of the votes, with again 96% reporting. At some point, we did see Anthony Costanza arrive. We were told that he was in the building and then left and then came back in. He was not interested in speaking with us this evening. We also did get a chance to hear from Peter Elder. He is the GOP chairman, and he did also go to the podium making an announcement to say that a very, very quick announcement, just speaking directly to the party here, saying that he wants to keep the momentum going, kind of getting back to the drawing board, but keeping spirits high. I did get a chance to speak with him, and we will have continuing coverage coming up for Sunrise as well. But the message really is to just keep that momentum going for the party and listen to what the voters said and what their wants are. So, of course, we will continue to follow this. But, yes, the Republican Anthony Costanza did not win in this race for town supervisor. We will send it right back to you at the desk. Reporting live at Eagle Valley Golf Club, Isabel Garcia, News 8.
All right, Isabel, thank you. Of course, the local GOP, they can use all the momentum they can get as the Democrats continue to tighten their grip on the levers of power here in Monroe County. Another healthy Democratic showing in town supervisor races across the area, including in Pittsford, where it's an exceptionally tight race between the incumbent Bill Smith, a Republican, and Kathy Koshkar, the Democratic challenger. Votes
not finalized yet right now, but Bill Smith, the incumbent, is in the lead with 52% of the vote. Kathy Koshkar has 48%. Now, this race did raise some tension after an alleged AI-generated political ad was spread around. Kathy Koshkar, who's been on the town council for the last 5 years, is trying to beat the incumbent there.
And again, I said 100%, but we are not calling that, as it is too close at this moment. Turning to that big race in Greece, voters there have picked a Democrat for the first time in a long time.
Years. Ryan Hermanette joins us live again from the Democratic headquarters with the Greece supervisor race. Ryan.
So for all the parents of Democratic committee folks.
Yeah, Adam and Teresa, after months of built-up anticipation for this race for Greece Town Supervisor, Jeff McCann, the candidate on the Democratic and conservative lines of the ticket, has presumed his victory for that race. And just a few moments ago, he gave his victory speech here at the Democratic Committee headquarters in downtown Rochester. This makes him the first elected Democrat to hold the office in more than 2 decades. McCann secured his spot with around 10,500 votes, which is 58% of the voter turnout so far counted in Greece. He will fill the vacancy left by current town supervisor Bill Rylick, who did not seek re-election this year. McCann comes to Greece with an extensive background in public service. His most recent role serving as the Monroe County Deputy Supervisor. Some of the highlights on McCann's to-do list here include enhancing public safety, promoting housing development, and revitalizing the Mullet Grease Ridge. After speaking with voters at the polls in Greece earlier this evening, they told me that public safety was a shared priority here, and that a factor which brought many of these community members out to the polls throughout the day today. I'm planning to hear from McCann here in just a couple minutes. Once the speeches are over, I'm going to catch up with him when he steps off stage, and we will hear how he plans to serve the Greece community here for the next 4 years. We're now reporting live at the Democratic Committee headquarters in downtown Rochester. Ryan Hermanat, News 8. Adam Teresa, I'll send things back to you in the studio.
All right, Ryan Hermanat reporting. Thank you so much. And we are going to be talking about the New York Supreme Court justice in just a moment. Just want to note that strong Democratic numbers in Penfield, Parenton, Webster, Henrietta, Rush. And right here, though, very close, too close to call. This is for the Supreme Court justice. They handle some very big cases in our area. You've got the two Democrats. There's only 2 open seats, and you have 4 candidates, 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans. The 2 Democrats with a slight edge at this point, but there are a lot of votes to go, 87% in, but those 13% could swing things, so we're going to keep an eye on that.
On to Ontario County now. They have a new district attorney in Jason McBride, who wins with 76% of the vote, 77% of the vote there. That's over 6,200 voters in the county for the Republican. Jim Ritz, the incumbent, pulled over 1,800 votes. If you recall, he said he announced that he would retire earlier this year. We have covered this story many times following a report that alleged inappropriate parties in the workplace hosted by Ritz. From there, tension sparked, and McBride has now won by 8,000 votes.
Now, the only statewide issue on the ballot here in New York is Prop 1, and it's a close one at this hour. It's an amendment to the state constitution regarding an Olympic sports complex in Essex County on state forest preserved land. Governor Kathy Hochul has signed a bill preparing this. The measure will only take effect if voters approve it. If passed, the amendment would allow the state to use about 300 acres of forever wild Adirondack parkland for Olympic and training purposes, while adding more than 2,000 acres of new protected forest preserve. Environmental reviews and public comments would still be required for any future development. For more on all of the local races, you can visit rochesterfirst.com throughout the morning and throughout tomorrow.
Before we let you go, we want to go downstate to New York City. A record number of voters turn out to elect State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani for mayor, making him the first Muslim mayor and one of the youngest ever.
The 34-year-old Democratic Socialist defeated independent former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa for the seat. Mamdani's campaign centered on affordability, pledging to freeze rents on rent-stabilized apartments and raise taxes on the wealthy to fund free buses and city-run grocery stores. His win follows a contentious race that drew national attention, including an endorsement for Cuomo from from President Donald Trump. That happened yesterday.
It is time now for a new day in our politics.
And let me warn our new leader, if you try to implement socialism, if you try to render our police weak and impotent, if you forsake the people's public safety, we're not only organizing, but we are mobilizing, and we will become the mayor-elect and his supporters' worst enemies.
Senator Kirsten Gillibrand was one of the first to release a statement congratulating Mamdani, saying, quote, New York voters have fairly and freely chosen their next mayor, and the results of this election should not draw the ire of the president or the federal government, end quote. However, the Republican National Committee, also known as the RNC, released a statement saying, quote, Mamdani's radical agenda will push businesses out and drive one of America's greatest cities into lawlessness.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.